Yeah, it sort of feels a little bit deflated, Brendan Rodgers. I mean, obviously, performance and result would be, but in terms of why his team aren't performing the way that they can.
Everybody else says blame the board.
But why Celtic aren't performing the way that they previously had under him, and that the Celtic fans want to see. That cohesion just doesn't seem to quite be there. Can you put your finger on what is sort of lacking at Celtic at the moment?
Well, first of all, it's not a great surprise. I know you talk about Dundee's record against Celtic, but it's not a great surprise to me that Celtic have lost today. And you know, you can look at recent games, winning late Kilmarnock and coming from behind against Motherwell, but papering over the cracks, and you can say it's rank rotten recruitment. You can say that, but there are a lot of players, and it was good to hear Brendan then take a bit of responsibility, who are underperforming. Celtic lack quality in the final third. I don't know how many teams in the top flight have outscored them. I think Hearts have got however many more goals than Celtic. It's a problem, and how are Celtic going to? How is it going to be resolved in the final third? They just don't have the quality, and that is an issue. We can debate team selection and say, should Yang have started against James Forrest, but you're wondering how Celtic are going to score the goal. And then with respect to Johnny Kenny, you know, you're asking him to come off the bench and make an impact. I can't remember once when he linked up with Ian Acho. Celtic have massive problems. They've got to get to January and still stay in touch. This is a bang average Celtic team, and I think Brendan realised.
But there again, it's a case of you've got to get to the next transfer window. Why? They've spent money.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But you still have to get to the next transfer.
But you've spent money again. Like the ball's coming on the pitch is just a total deflection. I mean, that team it just replicates the way Brendan Rodgers is right now as well. I mean, look at him. He looks as if he's just switched off. I mean, the team is flat. The team just looks as if there is no energy about it. Brendan Rodgers already looks. I mean, he started it. The signs are already there. All of a sudden, starting doing interviews with media companies down the road, and I'm still here. I'll be available next year because I'm not going to re-sign with Celtic. There's an opportunity for me. He's getting away with everything and everybody.
Did he say that?
No, well, you know what it's like. That's what happened the last time. What was his quote? I love Celtic. I love managing the club. I want Celtic to be the very best and everything until something else comes along for Brendan Rodgers. That's the way it always works. That's it. You know that yourself.
Well, we can't look into the future. We don't know what's going to happen down
That's
the line.
What will happen.
Let's look at the game that we've
100%.
had here.
And as I said to you right now, everybody blames the players. Everybody blames the board for not bringing in players. And you've said that yourself. When is Brendan Rodgers got to get criticism?
I think that he took a bit of responsibility there. He said that it's his issue to get the team playing better. But it's been all season. He will point, and I think fairly so, to rotten recruitment. I think it is fair. You look in the final third for that spark. You look at the players who have left and have they replaced them. But I get the argument. But should the team be playing better? Rio Atati, when he first came to the club, he was a player. I thought he was going to be the next one to go down south to the Premier League. Miles off it this season. People are pointing the finger at Callum McGregor. I'm not saying Callum had a good game, but I don't see him being the biggest problem. You talk about the right-hand side.
Two of them were already there.
Lack of threat on the right-hand side. Kieran Tierney has come back and looks a shadow of the player.
The two you mentioned, they were already there.
So Celtic had big issues. But when you look to the bench for game changes, you go back through the last couple of seasons, Celtic always had a game changer to come off the bench. That bench is, it's just rotten.
There's a bit of money on it though. Engels again, £11 million. Balasha, a new signing in the summer that everybody was told was going to be outstanding when he arrived as well. You've yet to see it.
Who told you that?
Brendan said that these two that were coming in were going to be outstanding signings.
Did he?
You had to see it. Listen, the whole Kieran Tierney thing is as well. Everybody was up in the what a signing this is going to be. Brendan Rodgers obviously backed that one as well.
He said himself as well, though, these are the players that he has to work with. So how does he try and create a side that will go and beat
it won't make a difference because he'll get away with it. The board will get to blame for everything. Who, by the way, have backed him. I've backed him to the hilt. The money that Celtic have spent since Brendan Rodgers have come through this door, backed him to the hilt. They're the ones that get criticised from. You keep going on about it. You keep going on about the money. You keep going on about it. By the way, you keep going on about Kyogo's left. Kuhn's left. Who was the other one you keep going on about?
Have they?
No, answer me. Who's the other one you keep going on about? Odsonne Edouard left. Moussa Dembele left. Henrik Larsson left. Virgil van Dijk. Get over it. They're away. They've gone. You've got to deal with this right now. And he's not going to tune out the players right now.
Point?
Celtic have failed to score. They're not creating anything. They've not done anything.
And why is that?
Well, they did create chances.
Because it's
they did create
why is that
chances
big-
in
Why
that
is that?
second
Because
half.
because they lack quality in the final third.
So wait, no, whoa.
And if you can't,
Wait,
if you-
you're
if you
in
can't-
wait a minute.
if you can't
You're in
see
and goal
that,
there.
then you have something
You're
badly
in and
wrong
goal.
with you.
You're in and goal there. That's a free hit at goal.
Yes, that's.
So what's that got to do with
That's
it?
your left back.
And what?
How many
Greg
goals?
Taylor got in that position and scored goals.
Playing your Greg Taylor card now. But
No,
Celtic,
no, because you were one at the start as well with Greg Taylor.
The signing,
Kieran Tierney was going
of
to be a great signing.
Iheanacho summed everything up. That was desperation. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but you know, you think back when Celtic were rotating Giakoumakis and Kyogo, that quality, that's the difference. I mean, the goals tally tells you everything you need to know about Celtic this season, about struggling in Europe. I don't know how are they going to score a goal. You can't sit there. You can't sit there. They don't have that physicality in the box to score from crosses. Sides are going to set up against Celtic from now till January, same way. They're going to narrow up. They're going to say
They're still signing players for an absolute fortune. What, because the whole narrative is around the board.
But you can't say they've got the right. Has the recruitment been good? You keep banging. You can keep going back over the
because
decades.
it's true,
and what have you.
but you've spent an absolute fortune.
You're not talking
I'm
about the
going to
here and
let
now.
you two continue
But you
this
spent a fortune.
later on because
He's away for a
sadly
couple of-
we're
he's away for a
out,
cup of
sadly
tea
we're
with
out of
Brendan.
time.